Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today it's time to tackle my fall-autumn wrap-up, also kind of winter because I'm including December, but we will get to that later.
1, 2, 3, funk it!
So let's start with October. In October, the first book I read was The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan and translated by Gabrielle Hefs. And again, I'm doing this video with just my Goodreads reviews because why not? And my review was, I love fantasy and this book reminded me of why that is. I love the opening and also everything that comes after. I also loved how I discovered everything with Percy. Action-packed, fun, witty, and addicting. Thankfully, there is more. Next up, I read The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. Again, the translator was Gabrielle Hefs. And for this one, I'm not giving you a review because actually I'm working on a Percy Jackson video, although I have no idea when it will come out because I'm kind of stuck on the third book. But there's another time and place to talk about that. And I'm also kind of a slow reader and I still have 2 more books, kind of 3 more books to finish. So it might take a while, but I will just put it out in the universe to also be kind of kept accountable maybe. I don't know. And then we're already moving into November and I only read one book, which was The Physicians by Friedrich Dürrenmatt, which I actually read in one day because it's a pretty quick read. And my review was Plot Twists of the Century. I thought that was funny. I don't know if it really is. And now we're already in December, and again I only read one book, and that was Verdi by Colin Hoover, which was translated by Katarina Ganslat. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And my review was, first up, check trigger warnings please. I don't know how to recover from this book. It was a traumatizing roller coaster. There's no happy beginning, happy middle, or happy end. The book was good, but there's nothing good about it. I couldn't stop reading it, and at the same time wanted it to end immediately. This was my first Colin Hoover book, and if her other books, her romances, are like that too. Please go to therapy. I don't care who exactly, just go to therapy. Also, that's not part of my review, but I think it will stay my last Colin Hoover book because of what I've heard, her romance books are like that. And I think it's insane to call them romances. And even more insane that they are young adult books. Young adult. Like that's the most wrong thing they could read. Like, okay, if they understand that that's not how the world works and that's not good, fine. But if they don't understand, I don't even want to think about what happens then. So please, if you're a young person reading Colin Hoover, get a reality check. That's not how romance should be. You shouldn't be traumatized, manipulated. Whatever else happens in her books, I don't know, but that's not how love should look like. That's not love. I just had to scream it out into the universe because it makes me so mad. It's insane. But with that little rant over, let's look at my stats. First up, we have all of the books I read. 2 in October, 1 in November, 1 in December. And then I read 4 books this quarter. I read 32 books this year and I read around 1046 pages this quarter. Then for genres, I read 50% fantasy, which were the Percy Jackson books, 25% thriller, which was Verity, and 25% classic, which was The Physicians. Author's gender, I read from 1 female author and from 3 male authors. The age demographic was 50-50 because 2 books young adult and 2 books adult, because I think Verity is considered adult, and even if not, it's considered adult by me. I've just decided that. Then my ratings were 2 5 stars and 2 4 stars, even though I'm not sure about Verity being 4 stars, but I still enjoyed it, kind of. Like, I like a thriller. Maybe it wasn't the best, but still, it entertained me, and I have to do my star rating somehow, and 3 didn't feel quite right. I don't know. And my average rating was 4.5 stars. Format. This time around it was 100% paperback, which I thought it was kind of funny. Moving on to author's nationality, we have 3 American and 1 Swiss, because Friedrich Dürrenmatt was from Switzerland. That's also why I didn't mention a translator, because Switzerland, they speak German, they write in German, I read in German, so they didn't need a translator. Then the original language, already kind of discussed that. 3 books in English, 1 book in German. Now the publishing year. 1 in 1962, which was The Physicians. 2005, which was The Lightning Thief. 2006, The Sea of Monsters. And 2018, Verity. Although I must say I did use the original release date, they don't align with when they released for me in German. But I don't know if that's that interesting. And that already kind of brings me to the end, at least of this wrap-up. But I want to put out some information or updates, because I've realized that these quarterly updates don't really work for me. Like, it will be so long that I don't even remember much about the book, or like, I'm not really motivated to speak about it anymore because I've already read so many other things or have experienced so many other things. Also, I sometimes even almost forget to make these kind of videos. Only my content planner reminds me that I'm supposed to do that. And I don't know, I'm not sure how to make these wrap-ups, because maybe I will go back to monthly wrap-ups, but that's also not quite working because I'm not reading every month. It's just not possible for me. Or like, I don't want to force myself to read if I don't have the time or the motivation to read. And I'm also quite a lot of a mood reader. Even if I have time, I will only pick up specific books. If I pick it up and don't like it, I probably won't read anymore or pick up another thing, and maybe I don't have the time to finish it right away. So it's a little bit complicated. I'm thinking about just doing monthly wrap-ups when I read something, or maybe just putting 2 months together. I don't know, I still have to figure that out. Please let me know your opinions, ideas, your input if you have some. Maybe it might help me, and it would be nice to talk to someone in the comments. I would really appreciate that. But now that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next.